This is a 500 Rand headset. And I gotta say, compared to my 1,500 Rand headset, weirdly enough, this thing stacks up, but for different reasons that you might expect. And this isn't all sunshine and roses. There's actually some negatives about this that I will get into in this video. I'm gonna go through everything, so stay tuned. This is the Monka Echo, or the HG9069w, which coincidentally stands for wireless. So this is the Monka Echo wireless. As you can see on the box, it looks pretty good. I mean, who doesn't like the whole strap thingamajig thing? Let me know in the comment section if you're more of a strap person or more of a non-strap person, you know what I'm saying? In any case, I'm gonna take you through this whole ideal, the whole box, what's inside of it, you know, the normal, just usual things that you might see in any case, right? First of all, gotta say, first impressions, the packing, as always, Marvo, or in this case Monka, is absolutely insane. Now before I continue, I want to give you guys a disclaimer. This was sent to me by Marvo themselves, so this is a sponsored review, but I can say whatever I want. All of this is unbiased. You don't have to worry. Alright, if you guys would like to grab one of these, I will leave a link in the description down below as well as in the pinned comment so you know exactly where to find them. Getting to the box. When you open this thing, which is still much easier than some of the other ones that I've seen, you will be first greeted by a very sus looking picture. I gotta say, it's interesting mascot they got here, right? Then you can just open this. This is just like a cover thing. I don't know exactly why, but it's a cool cover thing. This is the first time that I've seen a company give you a headphone bag. I did not see this coming. It's an actual bag, pretty good quality, that you can just put your headphone and stuff in. I have never seen this. This is weird, but I like it. I'm a big fan of it. Then you got your user manual pouch, as you do with all the other Marvel products. And then of course you have the headset itself. Now it doesn't come pre-made with the strap. The strap is actually a Velcro. As you can hear, it comes off. I just put it on because I've been using this headset for, I don't know, a week now to test it out. You know, I want to give you guys a review that is as honest as you can possibly get, if that makes sense, right? Let me know in the comments if this makes sense, or you can just like the video. I mean, either way, it is what it is, right? In any case, you get to the headset. It comes with a nice little dongle that you can just, USB type A, at least, dongle that you can just plug into your computer, and that is essentially it. You have this like box that you can open. Let me just show you what's inside. First of all, you have another strap, so you don't even have to use the one strap. You have two different ones. That's both kind of cool. I have to say, I'm more of a fan of the yellow one, even though yellow isn't my favorite color. I like the yellow one more because it's more different. The red one is cool. It says Monka on it, but I like the yellow one. That's kind of a nice one. I'm probably going to keep on using that. Then of course, you have a 1 meter USB-C to USB-A cable. This is basically just a charging cable, so you can charge the thing, right? And then my favorite part, you get a 3.5 millimeter jack, which I haven't seen in such a long time. You don't see this every day anymore because USB-C kind of took over, right? But this is very important, and especially the reason why I've been using this headset over my 1,500 Rand headset for the past week. It's not because of the quality. Obviously, you can't compare something that's medium to high end to something that is supposed to be made for budget gamers. But like I said, I will get to that. Now, let's get to the actual headset because there's nothing else in the box. The headset itself, this thing feels quite durable. This is the main differentiator between this headset and my 1,500 Rand headset. The 1,500 Rand one, it kind of feels a little bit cheap. You know, they kind of skimped out on the design to give you that immaculate sound quality, whereas with this, Monka doesn't do skipping out. They don't like skipping out. This is some of the best quality that I've felt in a headset in actually quite a while. Like, this isn't even like cheap plastic. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic. This feels like a kind of a premium product. Now this has a 40mm driver, so this is also a over-the-ear cup type situation, which is one of the negatives, I want to say, at least for me, but I'm going to get to that in a second. If you haven't realized with the W and the fact that I said it like 3 times, this is a wireless headset, but it can also be used wired. I'm going to be using it wired most of the time for 2 main reasons. Again, I'll get to that in a second. And then of course you have what every single gamer likes, and that is RGB. Look at that. And it's on both sides. And the cool thing is, it's kind of weird because the driver itself can move without the back part moving. I don't know if this is actually important, but it kind of gives it a little bit of wiggle room around your ear. And, you know, everything stays the same. Like the RGB, everything stays the same. I don't know why it is like that, but it kind of works in my favor at least. It can't like really bend any other way, it just is what it is. So that's kind of a bummer that you can't like flip it over, but I mean, why would you want to? If you just have a headset stand or whatever, you can just hang this thing over it. It's fine, okay? It's fine. And then of course you have your power button, which I just used to turn this on, but this is not only just a power button. You can turn this thing on and off with this, you can turn the RGB on and off with this, and you can also answer calls with this, which is one of the cool things about having a tri-mode headset, which just is advertised as a tri-mode headset. And I've seen this pattern with a lot of the different like Marvo and especially the Monka products. The mice, the keyboards, and the headsets. Most of them are tri-mode, and essentially what that means is you can use it on 3 different types of styles of products, if that's the right way to say this. You can use this on your phone. So it has Bluetooth 5.0 capabilities, it has the wired capabilities like any other headset, and then it also has the wireless 2.4 gigahertz capabilities with the dongle that you get with the actual headset itself. So you can use this wherever you want to. It's very easy to set up. Let me actually take you through this. So after consulting the user manual, how you switch this over from 2.4 gigahertz to Bluetooth is you check that power button that has already a lot of functionalities. Well, it has more. Apparently, if you triple click this, it switches over to Bluetooth 5.0. Now, I haven't mentioned this yet. It just looks like a normal headset. But you wouldn't believe me, there's a microphone, a detachable one, and it kind of looks cool. Boop, you just yoink that on there, and then you have your nice little short microphone. It gets right close to your mouth, so you should be clear enough. Now, from what I've seen from this, it isn't the best quality when it comes to the microphone itself, but you know, it's difficult for me to compare that because I'm using a Rode PodMic USB, which is obviously a very high-end microphone, and this is a 500 Rand headset, which means that the microphone itself is probably like, I don't know, $100. Like, you can expect $100 quality out of this. I mean, it's not bad. You can definitely hear what somebody is saying when they're using this headset. I have tested this out with my wife. We've been playing some games, and I've been reviewing another headset and testing some stuff out, and you can clearly hear what everybody is saying when they're using this microphone. So it's not like it's really bad, it's just obviously not, you know, 7,000 Rand, 6,000 Rand good. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get to a microphone test to actually see what this realistically sounds like.
This is a microphone test for the Monka Echo or the HG9069 wireless. Now, with the Monka Echo, you have seamless multi-platform connectivity where you can effortlessly switch between 2.4 GHz wireless, USB-C wired, and Bluetooth 5.0 for ultra-low latency and uninterrupted performance across all your devices. You have a 40mm white porcelain driver, which just sits very nicely around your ears, unless you're sitting for like 6 hours at a time, and it is weighted at just 280 grams, which means it is very, very light on your head.
In any case, moving on to what I really like about this. First, let's put up my straps because I haven't really measured it, but my head is definitely not this big. It's actually quite easy. You just yoink it through that like, there's like a metal, I don't know, hinge or something. You just yoink that through it, and then it just kind of sticks to itself. Very easy application, I have to say. I like the modular design of this because you can maybe get some custom ones as well if you really want to. You can kind of like let that be made or make some yourself if you really want to. And that is it. Yoink, it's on there. Very easy, very simplistic. Now, the way that I usually use this, and that's for a specific reason, is I use the 3.5mm driver, which is not this one. I use this. And the reason I'm using this is not because I have a 2018 mobile that is using 3.5mm drivers. It's because of this microphone. When I plug this headset into this microphone, I can actually use it as a monitoring device as well as being able to record and hear everything out of it. So I just click this, yoink, and in that way I can easily hear what I'm saying when I'm saying it. And I love doing it like this because it helps me concentrate. So this was the main way that I could actually test out how everything sounds on this headset. Now, let's get to the actual sound itself. It sounds fine. It's still, like I said, a 500 Rand headset. It's not supposed to be something that sounds like a JBL Quantum 350 wireless or a Razer, whatever the hell that Razer is called. It's $500. But does it sound good for $500? Yes, definitely yes. I mean, like I said, it's good enough that I've been using this for the past week as my main headset because it is so convenient for me to use. It feels fine sitting on my ears. Yes, when you're sitting for extended periods of time, let's say for example 3-4 hours, or sometimes that I'm streaming, it can hurt a little. It can start to hurt a little, but I mean, that's not a fair comparison. Look at this. I've got some elf ears. This is some pointy mother suckers. It's not very fair to the headset itself to actually, say that it hurts my ears, so it's probably gonna hurt your ears after like 3-4 hours of extended use. It just is what it is. The one other good thing about having it actually plugged in to the 3.5mm driver is the fact that I wouldn't have to care about the battery running out at some point. This has like an 800 milliamp battery, which means theoretically this should be able to power itself for like 10 hours at a time. I haven't gotten to 10 hours. I don't think it has lasted me 10 hours, but that's also because, like I said, I've been using this rigorously. And also the RGB has been on the whole time. So this might be when the RGB is off and like a perfect condition. I would test this if I were you. But either way, nobody sits in front of their computer with a wireless headset on for 10 hours at a time.
Says who? Says me, right?
It is very easy to just plug it in if it does get to a point where the battery kind of gets low. It has a USB-C cable. You can use any USB-C cable whatsoever. It doesn't need to be the one that they actually give you. So it isn't really a big problem, if I may say so. Alright, what would I actually change about this headset? I'm glad you asked. One thing that I would love, and I mean love, for this headset is software. It doesn't have any software, so there's no actual indicator on how much battery life you have left, or like any equalizers or anything like that. Now, I think this headset would actually really benefit from something like an equalizer, because then you can actually kind of change some of the, let's say for example, the lower tones down, or maybe even the upper highs or mids a little bit up, because this is a very bassy, very bassy headset, which isn't bad in most cases. But I have seen in some cases, at least when you're playing certain games or watching certain YouTube videos, it can feel a little bit bassy. When you're listening to music, however, absolutely fantastic. Gorgeous sound. I absolutely love this, especially for $500. It is phenomenal. But yeah, an equalizer would be kind of the best case scenario here, and especially a battery life indicator, so you actually know how much battery life you have left. Like, I'm at a point where I just if I'm planning on using this wirelessly, every time I stop using my computer, I just plug it in any case to charge it, to just be sure that there's going to be some battery life left, because I don't know. It can be like 20%, it can be 80%, I wouldn't know. Unless I actually just use it until I hear battery low. Nobody wants to do that. So that's probably the one thing that I would change about this headset. And that is it. I haven't found any actual faults. The sound is pretty good. That's like at least a 7 out of 10 for me. The feeling of the headset, that's also a 7 out of 10 for me. The only downside is when I'm using it, like I said, for like 3-4 hours, my ears kind of hurt for a little bit, but nothing crazy. The functionality, that's a 9 out of 10 for me. I mean, the tri mode is amazing. You have the Bluetooth, you have the 2.4 GHz, you have the wired connections. That is amazing. I love the fact that you can detach your microphone, because people like, let's say for example me, that actually has a dedicated microphone, I don't need something like this. Yes, it helps if you're just like in a jiffy, you just want to quickly, have something with a microphone. Let's say for example you're using this, with Bluetooth, the headset with Bluetooth on your mobile phone, the microphone would actually work amazing, because you can actually use that when you're on a call or when you're having a Zoom meeting or whatever you want to do. You're playing some online games on your phone as well, like some Call of Duty Mobile or Warzone Mobile or something. Yes, this would then be amazing. But for me, I don't use that. It's not needed. So yeah, that is very good. I love that so much. Overall, I give this headset a 7 out of 10. For the price, at least a 9 out of 10. This is the best 500 Rand headset that I've seen in my life. There's nothing that comes even remotely close to this. Now guys, this isn't the only headset that I will be reviewing from Monka. There's actually another one coming, so stay tuned for that. It is the Echo as well, but the Echo RS. Now this is kind of the big boy, the step up from this, and I've been testing this, and my wife has been testing this. It is absolutely amazing. So stay tuned if you want to see that, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more reviews, more gaming videos, and everything in between. I'm very close to 10k subs, and with your help, I can actually get there. With that being said, I'm going to leave you with one last question, and that is, do you want to play?